As Singapore becomes more and more interracial, we should celebrate the fact that interracial marriages are on the rise in Singapore, with 1/5 of marriages registered here in the Registry of Marriages being between people of different races. However, interracial couples might still face opposition from family and friends. Singles are also averse towards finding love from a person in another race. As a society that promotes racial harmony, this opposition should be a thing of the past. Therefore, why does this opposition exist and what can we do to stop it?
Hey Martin, will you be willing to marry an Indian?
No, not really.
Oh. Hey Kevin, will you be willing to marry someone who is not Chinese? Oh. Ahmad, my man, will you be willing to marry someone who's not Malay?
As it turns out,
66% of Chinese respondents indicated that they would not enter a relationship with a person of at least one other race. 60% of Indian respondents said that they would not enter a relationship with a person of at least one other race. But surprisingly, only 20% of Malay respondents indicated such low willingness. As you can see, it appears that the Chinese, being the majority race, are sadly most biased in their views of minority races, with other races being less bigoted. As a result, it seems that the minority races are most discriminated against, with 47.8% of non-Malay respondents stating that they would not be willing to enter a romantic relationship with a Malay partner. And 53.3% of non-Indian respondents reported that they would not be willing to have a romantic relationship with an Indian. Also, 64% of respondents said that they would face opposition from close friends and family.
My parents knew.
Oh.
Yeah, because when I'm going out, my mom knew that I'm going out with somebody. So she asked to see the guy. So he came to my house with a bouquet of flowers and a cake. Yeah, so he came to my house, my parents met him. So they okay with him. We talked.
They were quite cordial. They okay.
Yeah.
Dad was very cordial, but of course they also had reservations lah. You know, especially from grandma. Grandma was very quiet. Not disapproval lah. Both our parents were quite, both sides, they were concerned that there might be issues, and they didn't know whether we understood that what we were getting into. You see. And, so that was from my side, from dad and mom. You know, mom was a more conservative one. Mom really thought that look, it's not going to work, because she never knew any other, way. And she was very conservative in that way.
in light of the continual aversion to interracial relationships and the lack of true colour blindness when it comes to choosing soulmates, how can we take action to promote and normalize interracial relationships and to dissuade opposition to such relationships? Firstly, we need to improve the public perception of interracial marriages, to remove any stigma or disapproval that may be placed on such relationships. Interracial relationships need to be normalized through them being more frequently featured in a positive light in the local media and entertainment industry, and advertisements or pamphlets may even be released encouraging people to consider interracial marriage or to accept close acquaintances in an interracial relationship. Secondly, we need to allow more and more interracial relationships to bud and take root by facilitating the bringing together of people from different races. To this end, the Social Development Unit should work actively to allow more socialization and eventually romantic involvement between singles of different races. Thirdly, the Ministry of Family and Social Development should also be proactive in providing and support and incentives to interracial couples to encourage them to go the whole way towards marriage. Such services as counseling, financial advice, or even tax rebates and other forms of subsidies and incentives. The government should also seek to help each couple and both sides of relatives overcome the possible racial or cultural barriers standing between the two races, and to adapt to the new cultural environments, whether this be through education and training or other programs such as counseling. As you can see, there is still much opposition to interracial marriages in Singapore.
As a society that claims to celebrate racial harmony,
We must take action against bias and bigotry and end opposition to interracial marriage.
Let's build a truly colorblind society.